All right, we're live. Good morning, guys. Just wanted to crack into this with you. We've got a brand new announcement from Cynthia. I'm gonna go ahead and play it first, and then I'm going to um, I'm gonna play it first, and then I'm going to go over my thoughts on it. This hit at like five a.m. this morning, so basically, it's. I mean, I don't see how to get any good news from this, but let me just go ahead and play it for you, and then I want to go over my thoughts with you on it. This is a special live broadcast, just because if you're like me, you probably would want to see it right away. I know that I would. So that's what I'm doing. Hopefully this won't be too long of a broadcast, but it does. I do need to get it out there, okay? And since it just happened, I do have some thoughts on it, but I really need to process it also. So I will be talking more about it again. However, let's go ahead and crack into the message.
Hey guys, good morning. Sorry for the 5 a.m. message, but I was having trouble sleeping, and sometimes I just need to say things when the spirit moves me and not wait. I want to thank you, my leaders, for working with us the last several weeks on finding ways to not only make the business better, but to improve our practices, how we do things, how we communicate, and that is greatly appreciated. Just to let you know. I know we need to post some information in the back office, all right, which I promised I would do over the next couple of days in order to keep everybody updated. However, some things don't always translate well into a written message. And sometimes I just need to say things from the heart so that people understand where our minds are, where our hearts are, and where we're going with this business and what our intentions are. All right. So, with that said, we do have some parameters that we've been working on to place on accounts and how things are done, how things are paid. Cash outs, of course, is what's on everybody's mind right now, and we've been trying to play catch up quite a bit. We had frozen the trading only so we can kind of figure out what we're going to do with this. There aren't very many business models, if any, that allow mass withdrawals. And it's not something we've ever had to experience from our customers on their end. So it did have a much larger impact on the business than we expected it to. For 4 years, it's never been a problem. But when people start to panic and things start to go a little sideways, it's natural for people to want to just try to take it all out. No business could survive, any business, whether it's a bank, financial, whatever, under that kind of strain from the users. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So unfortunately, things that went on in the market, things that happened in here, customers' reactions to it ended up making this a much heavier burden than we've had to experience in the past. So it is not our intention to find more ways to hurt the business or cause it to collapse. Although I know there's some people who would like to see that of us. I don't think that's the majority of the people here. I don't think our customers want to see that happen. I know I certainly do not want to see that happen. And I've been actually very humbled by the amount of people who are wanting to do things to help us move along. And not even talking about just our customer base, but vendors, marketing companies, platform providers that really believe in what we've done. I've gotten some very sincere messages from people um, who love our project and want to see it continue and want to help us move that along. So, with that said, we're going to be announcing some parameters and changes that we're going to put into place, particularly before or soon after the April 1st deadline we're all waiting on. Sorry, guys, I cannot make April 1st D-Day for NOVATECH. All right. It cannot be the day that everybody takes everything out and walks away and causing it to have a negative impact on the ones who still want to be here. You guys are going to have to hang out with me for several more months while we work through some changes. All right. But we just want to make sure that people understand that in order to be able to continue doing what it is that we do and profiting people, that we do need to make some adjustments. All right. And we're working very hard on our end just to make sure everything goes the right direction. All right, and we're trying to pay out as many people as we can. Our goal is to try to make sure everybody sees something coming back into their accounts. All right, so that we can again, get the ball rolling and continue to build what we've always intended to build, which is an outlet for many people to be able to benefit from for many years. All right, I know it's a struggle for some, for most. This should not be an issue, and we really have to think about what's going to benefit our customers and business in the long run, not just now. All right. Like I said, I'll be posting some updates over the weekend. Uh, we had a very good week with the releases, and I'll catch you guys up on what's going to be going on with the balance of stuff. Okay. So love you. Talk to you. Bye.
Okay, so there is Cynthia Pettion's 5 a.m. message, okay, that she put out this morning. I want to break it down for you guys real quick. So, first and foremost, what she did is she said thank you to the leaders, and said that there's going to be an announcement made in the back office, okay, but that announcement doesn't play well in writing. And that's what she basically said, is that this announcement, it's not, it's going to be better if you just hear it from me. And, hence the reason why she did this message. Um, so, take what you want from that. I mean, I take that as, it's going to be a tough announcement, right? It's probably not going to be what many people want to hear. Right. And it's probably, you know, going along with more of the things that she said in this message, it's probably going to be along the lines of, I mean, look, let's face it. She said we can't make April 1st D-Day. So basically, that translates to me that they're not going to be just opening everything back up on April 1st. It's just not going to happen like that. Okay, and so that goes back on their previous word saying that, hey, we just need to wait, we need to freeze this until April 1st, and then we'll have things back to normal operations at Novatech. Not Doesn't look like that's going to happen from this announcement. Okay, so new parameters are coming. Okay, well, that's not a bad thing, I don't think, but the new parameters, if it comes with this announcement that, hey, you're not going to be able to take all your money out, right? I think that's not going to sit well with a lot of people who have been waiting for April 1st, because they do want to go ahead and withdraw their trading account money at this time. I mean, she's right. No bank is going to just let everybody withdraw all their money at the same time, but they also won't just completely freeze everybody's account either. I mean, they'll make some sort of a way, uh, for people to get their money out. And yeah, so we we'll have to see what they come up with these new parameters that she's talking about. She mentioned trying to play catch up. Okay, and I think, and then she touched on exactly what that meant, that they had mass withdrawals that happened, right? Mass withdrawals happened, right? Well, I think part of the reason why the mass withdrawals happened is because there wasn't good communication when those notices were hitting, like the threat of the cease and desist order, the threat of the cease and desist notice, the problems in California, the problems in Canada. So instead of getting on there and saying, hey, here's what's happening, here's what we're going to do about it, okay, here's the game plan, don't panic, we just had nothing, right? We had nothing. They just didn't say anything while all this stuff was happening with the Canada thing, with the California thing. And that is what I think caused people to kind of panic, because it's just like, okay, let's see what they say, and then they don't say anything. And so I think then at that point, as the problems, right, the governmental, the regulatory problems continued to come in, people were more and more just going ahead and withdrawing their trading account, withdrawing their trading account, withdrawing their trading account, withdrawing their trading account, and that led to these mass withdrawals. Now, she said something that is telling here is that this had a much larger impact than expected. Okay, a much larger impact than expected. Okay, so that's an admission that, hey, this is, that we're having a problem here. Okay, and she, once again, she's guarded, and she's just not giving us the whole picture here. But I think she's giving us enough to prepare us for this inevitable thing that's coming up, where they're going to say, you know, we're not going to be able to totally we're not going to be totally able to open up the trading withdrawals on April 1st. We're just not going to be able to do it. I think that's the announcement that's going to be coming. That's the announcement that this is foreshadowing, and that's what she's getting ready for us. She's trying to get us ready, okay, for that announcement. And it's like I've said on here before, guys. Some people are going to be fine with that, right? Because they're just, like I said, they're rolling with NOVATECH no matter what. But there's a lot of people that are not going to be fine with that, right? And it's another, it's another one of those things where you said you were going to do one thing, right? And now you're kind of like, you're backtracking on that. So, what's it going to be? We've got to have some clear communication. So let's look at the next thing. So she mentioned three problems. One was things that went on in the market, which I'm assuming she's talking about the regulatory actions. Two, things that happened among the leaders. Okay, I'm not sure what she's talking about there. Maybe they had something happen internally. And three, the customers, right? The customers, it's like, okay, it's your guys' fault for taking all the money out at one time, type of thing. Um, so I mean, there's zero personal responsibility, right? Zero personal responsibility. Like, okay, so something happened in the market. It was the happened among the leaders. It was the customers. Okay, so the market thing, it's probably the regulatory thing. And then the other part is that, in the markets with trading, you can blow an account. So I don't know. Is she like inferring that maybe they screwed up on a trade or they blew an account? I don't know. Right? No, there's really no way to know that, because, like I said, these things are vague. They're intentionally vague. They're playing this close to the chest. They're being guarded about this. They're not giving us the transparency and the exact information to know exactly what happened and what's going on. That's still not happening. But what this is, I think, is it's a foreshadowing of more delays ahead, right? And so she said several months was the verbiage. Okay. She said that a new announcement is coming before or soon after April 1st, right? And then right after that, we cannot make April 1st D-Day. So what she means by that is, what she's saying there is, if they open up the trading account withdrawals on April 1st, it would be D-Day, right? It would be the end, right? So if they open up trading accounts on April 1st, that'll be the end of NOVATECH, right? So the admission there is, we can't do that, because that's going to be the end of our company, right? That's going to destroy the company completely. So that tells me that there's a heck of a lot of people trying to withdraw their money, and and they don't think that they'll be able to give those people those withdrawals and still survive as a company. So they're making a decision here. And it looks like the decision they're making is to delay some more. Okay. And she said, the verbiage was, you guys are going to have to hang out with me for several more months. Okay. You guys are going to have to hang out with me for several more months. So what I take that to mean is, hey, not only are we not going to open up the trading withdrawal April 1st, but we're not going to give you we're not going to give you any more dates, right? We're not going to say, hey, it's going to be in June, or hey, it's going to be in August. No, we're not going to do that, right? It's just several more months. We don't know. So we're not opening up the trading account. You can't withdraw from the trading account, right? And we don't know when you'll be able to, right? That's the way that this seems. This is the way that I'm taking this. It's the way that this seems. Okay. The goal is that everybody sees something going back into accounts, and I think what she's saying there is the goal is that we see something going, I guess, in terms of like bonus account withdrawals, or maybe we can withdraw a portion of our trading accounts, or we can withdraw from our trading accounts if we pay a fee or an additional charge or something along those lines. And that harkens back to these new parameters that they're talking about, and we just don't know exactly what that's going to be. Okay, that and like I said, that info is coming soon. She said that the announcement is going to come soon after April 1st or right before April 1st. So they don't, they again, uh there's no written in stone date here. So once again, let me go through a quick walkthrough. First, she thanked the leaders. Second, she said there's going to be a new message in the back office coming, but that new message is not going to play well over writing. So the written message is not going to sound good. It's basically what she's saying. So she wanted to come on here and give her own voice to it. Next, the message is going to say that there's new parameters coming. They're trying to play catch up. She said that mass withdrawals have happened and it's had a much larger impact on the company than expected. Okay, she blamed three things. One, things that went on in the market. Two, things that happened among the leaders. Three, things that happened among the customers. Okay, next, new announcement coming before or soon after, excuse me, April 1st, but they didn't give us a rock solid date. Then the next statement was very telling. We cannot make April 1st D-Day. So that tells me that they're not going to open up the trading account withdrawals on April 1st. How else can you interpret that? Right? How else can you interpret that? I mean, so they're going to put in a new parameter, right? And then we're going to hear about that. She said maybe a little bit before April 1st, maybe a little bit after April 1st. She didn't give us a confirmed date of when we're going to hear that. And then she did say, but we can't make April 1st D-Day. So basically, forget about that April 1st date. And then this statement, you guys are going to have to hang out with me for several more months. Well, how would you interpret that? You guys are going to have to hang out with me for several more months. That probably it's like she's saying, okay, several more months while we implement these new changes. And so, that tells me that once again, it's not like it's just looking like it's not going to open up completely on April 1st, right? So, for everybody who was in here who's talking about, hey, it ain't gonna happen, and it's gonna be delayed indefinitely. I remember somebody was saying that. It looks like this is seemingly going in that direction, right? With this announcement. Okay, it's seemingly going in that direction. Uh and then the last statement was the goal is that everybody sees something going back into accounts. Okay, that everybody sees something going back into accounts. So, right. I mean, they're trying to, they what they. It's like, okay, you're behind on the bonus account withdrawals. You've been trying to play catch up. You definitely aren't going to be able to open up the trading account withdrawals, and you didn't give us a specific date as to when. What was said was that there's going to be new parameters coming. There's going to be a new message in the back office that does not play well when it's read. Okay, so that's why she wanted to verbally say the message. And if you guys missed the beginning of the broadcast, just go back and watch it later. I played the message in full from Cynthia. Um, and yeah, and that they don't know, right? They don't know when things are going to get into in any kind of back to semblance of how they were before. And she said that you're going to have to hang out with me or bear with me or however you want to phrase that for several more months, meaning they're kind of less like we're working on it, but we don't know, we don't know exactly when we're going to be able to get back to where we were before. I mean, it seems like they don't know if they're going to be able to. She said definitely if we open up the trading accounts April 1st, that would be D-Day, that would be the end of Novatech. Right? Meaning that the company wouldn't be able to survive everybody making a withdrawal from their trading accounts all at once. Okay, so what happened to the fact that it was supposed to be only 20% of our money was in the trades? Okay, what happened to this big surplus that you were supposed to be creating? Right? Why wouldn't everybody be able to withdraw. I mean, yeah, that would, if you had if you were only trading with 20%, if you had this big surplus that you had created, if you were really making these returns that you said that you've been making week after week after week from the beginning with millions and millions and millions of dollars, why wouldn't you be able to pay everybody's trading accounts out? Right. And I think that's a good question. I think that that question needs to be asked. Uh, me read you guys' comments real quick, and I don't really have too much more to say about it. Okay, I got my money today, $7,000. That's awesome. Glad to hear that. I'm okay with that as long as it doesn't crush the system. Okay, but do you think everybody else is going to be okay with that? There's a lot of people who are I think going to be. I mean, I think they're just going to look at it as yet another red flag and yet another sign of a sinking ship. Like the boat is taking on water and it's sinking. Next up, not like any of this was going to be a surprise. I think a lot of people were very hopeful for the April 1st date. A lot of people were very hopeful. You're correct, way, way more. They probably just didn't have any real plan until recently. Most likely, they were waiting for some things to happen just to see how to react. I'm grateful they're not just going to let this whole thing crush them, and they're taking a proactive approach regarding the most important thing, our money. Give them a chance to be organized as long as they're paying us our weekly bonuses quickly, and I can wait for the organizational part without too much pressure. I have so much money in with Novatech. It's crazy. Definitely going to be diversifying. I need good leadership that will communicate. However, I also need someone to make the hard choices. Those are all very good points. Those are all very good points. I mean, yeah, absolutely diversification is key. And we're seeing that more and more with what is happening here. Um, I just think that they already announced that, like, oh hey, we have to put a temporary freeze until April 1st. And now what they're doing is it seems like they're getting ready to extend that freeze, or they're getting ready to put in some new restrictions, right? And we'll just have to see exactly what the announcement says. My hope is that people are able to, let's say somebody needed, okay, so JR, check it out, man. Let's say somebody needed to get out all their money, like they needed it, like family emergency, or somebody died and they didn't have life insurance or whatever, and they need that trading account money, and they need it, and they're like banking on April 1st to withdraw that trading account money because they need to get it. Okay, there has to be a solution for somebody like them. Okay, like I was saying, like I've been saying on here, we don't want to retroactively put something in place that further restricts the trading accounts. And I think that that sounds like that's what they're getting ready to do. So obviously, guys, there's going to be more announcements coming. And I will, do my best to get it out to you guys in a timely fashion. And I will also do my best to communicate what I think the story behind the story is, because they're with these type of vagaries, and with these type of, bear with me type of thing, hang in there type of thing. There's always we can't make it D-Day, right? So you have to kind of interpret what's being said, right? And what it's alluding to and what it's pointing to, when somebody won't just be completely transparent and come right out and say exactly what happened, what the problem is, what they're planning to do in the future. They might be making their adjustments. I'm not saying I'm okay 100% with it. I'd like to make other adjustments. I'd just rather have the company live than die. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. My concern is for the people who've they've already been patient, they've already been waiting, and this is gonna this is gonna look like, to some people it's just gonna look like a further drip tactic, a further delay tactic, and it's gonna give the hardcore haters, are gonna get more ammunition, to come out and call it a Ponzi or whatever else they say. And but yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I don't want to see Novatech die either. I don't want to see it explode or implode or whatever have you. Um, but I mean, there's other things they could do. Like I said, if they really have all this money and they've really been compounding it and they've really been making these weekly returns, then the money should be somewhere. Technically, they should be able to do it. Right? Technically speaking, they should be. I mean, it would suck. It wouldn't feel good, right? They'd have to, they probably get knocked back a few steps, but I don't, it shouldn't absolutely destroy the company if they really have all these funds that they have purported right on their website and that they've said that they've gotten. So that's the breaking news announcement, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get back with you more as soon as more news comes out. Thank you guys for tuning in. This will be posted up on YouTube as well as the live. We'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.